And we have a go for auto sequence start. Discovery's onboard computers have primary control of all the vehicle's critical functions. Start, 2, 1, booster ignition, and liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery, returning to the space station, paving the way for future missions beyond.
Hello, and welcome to our show, The Launchpad. I'm your host, Harry Washington, and today we're joined by a fabulous guest, Ms. Chanya Johnson, who's a youth advocate and the founder of DERF. Ms. Johnson, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Good.
Thank you for having
Good.
me.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Give us a little bit about your background.
Let's see, I'm a native of New Orleans, Louisiana. I came here back in 1999 to work on Capitol Hill for various members of Congress, so I spent over a decade working on Capitol Hill. And so my background is public policy and political science.
Right. What motivated you to want to work with students? Because, with DERF, you work with youth. You have a lot of initiatives towards youth. Even your professional background is about working with youth. What motivated you to do that?
What really motivated me is that I think it has stayed with me since I was a young child. Growing up in New Orleans, we had few options in terms of safe programs, but there was one that I remember, which was the National Urban League Success Program, where they came into the high school. And my high school wasn't the best high school in the city, and so because there was role models and people there to work with us to make sure that we became a success later in life, I felt like because they invested in me, it was important that I find a way to give back to young people. And so that is why I started the Davis Johnson Education Resource Foundation, is because of me knowing there's a need for young people to have positive role models in their lives, people to really work with them and teach them the things that they need to know. So that's what really encourages me and make me want to do what it is I do.
Right, and you mentioned DERF. It's DERF Incorporated. Tell us a little bit about DERF.
Well, DERF, it's Davis Johnson Education Resource Foundation. It was started back in about 2005. I was on Capitol Hill and I was working for Congressman C.A. Dutch Ruppersberger at the time. And a young man from Baltimore County Public Schools came to visit with me. That was uncommon back then. Not many students make time to meet with their members of Congress on Capitol Hill. So for me, it was an anomaly. And I said, wow. So the kid came in, I met with him. He told me all about the issues in this school. And I said, wow, we need to make sure that there are more young people coming to Capitol Hill meeting with members of Congress. And so what I did was I talked to a few people and I said, this is what I want to do. I want to create a program where we make sure they have access and they understand the importance of policy, the importance of politics, just the importance of civic engagement. And so I developed that program with the support of our local Congressman Cindy Hoyer, Dutch Ruppersberger, Congressman Gerger Meeks, and the program has grown since then. We started back in 2005. About 5. And so now every year we host the annual Executive Youth Leadership Summit at the nation's capital to give young people from across the U.S. really an opportunity to come and cultivate the leader within, which is the name of the program.
Excellent, excellent. Yes. And now, in terms of working with youth, what ages do you work with?
Well, technically, I start at 10. The summit is for young people ages 10 to 18. Okay. I go beyond that because some parents will call me once the kids have graduated from high school, and or they just know that I'm very interested in policy or internship opportunities on the Hill. So I had 2 fellows come through the program. I'm now working with a young lady that I met through Jack and Jill of America. And so it really ranges. We're beginning a coaching program for people on Capitol Hill, staffers who are looking to advance their careers. Since I've been there for a long time, they feel like I have some expertise to share, and so I'm looking forward to that.
Excellent. Now, we open the show with describing you as a youth advocate. For those who are unfamiliar with that term, what is a youth advocate?
A youth advocate is a person who understands the issues that youth face. And they are the voice for the youth, because we understand sometimes youths are unable to communicate their thoughts, their ideas, and so I just go alongside them. It's not my voice, it's their voice. So when I go talk to a member of Congress or a local mayor about the lack of opportunities for young people in their community, it's not me, it's what the youth are communicating to me. And so that's pretty much what a youth advocate is.
Excellent, excellent. And even the education aspect, you have a lengthy educational history that's taking you from bachelor's to a master's degree, from criminal justice to even work in terms of political science. So, what inspired you to do all of this?
What inspired me, I think what most inspired me is that I wanted to be successful in life. And growing up in New Orleans, there were not a lot of beacons of hope or light or professional people. And so what I did was I knew that I did not want to end up in a jail cell somewhere. I did not want to end up on as a statistic on somebody's roll as a teenage mom. And so within me, I knew that there was more in life, and so I pursued academics. I was in a program called Upward Bound. I sought out the positive things in life as opposed to trying to be in with the in crowds and things like that. And so that's what really made me do it. In particular, growing up, there was a woman who was in my community running for city council, I believe. And I said, oh, wow, I didn't know what it was, but I knew that she wanted to represent the community, and I found my voice in that. And so I then said, okay, I can be a public servant. I can find a way to write policy, work with members of Congress to be able to give back. And so my greater passion really is the youth, but it also is politics and understanding the importance that policy play in our communities in everyday life.
Now, just a question more so on a personal line. How do you find a balance between doing all this, being an advocate, working, and then being a parent as well? Because you also have a daughter.
Yes.
How do you find a balance in doing all this?
Balance is relative, because sometimes I believe that I'm balanced based on what it is I commit to. There's some things I say no to. There's some things I don't respond to, but for what it is I'm passionate about, I make the time for it. I'm passionate about my family. I'm passionate about youth development. So I balance it out by doing the things that are important to me, that's going to allow me to grow and my family to grow. And I'm fortunate because I look at what I do for young people is sort of what's the word? I'm a little selfish. I'm really doing what I'm doing for young people so they can do it for my daughter when she comes back around, technically.
Excellent.
So I want to encourage this generation to be an advocate, to be a change, to create programs so that when my daughter comes around and your son, kids come around, they will have an opportunity. And it's the young people that I'm working with today.
Now, what other affiliations do you have? Because I know you're working with DERF and other organizations, but what other affiliations do you have? What specific affiliations do you have?
Specifically, I am a part of some national organizations. I'm a Zeta, so I'm a part of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. Another national organization is Jack and Jill of America. I'm a part of the National Association for Training and Development. So there's a lot of associations that I have. The ones that I am most proud of are the ones that my daughter are intently involved in, which is like Patriots of Technology, which is a local group here in the area. Really making sure they provide access and opportunity for her so that she can pursue her dreams in math and science.
Now, I guess the other thing that I guess want to know about you in terms of if you're talking to youth, if you're talking specifically to youth right now, what things would you want them to know in terms of getting as they prepare for a career? Or even college.
Or college. I would say what I really want them to understand is that they have to cultivate the leader within themselves. They have to believe in themselves before nobody else. Because sometimes, it's hard to find cheerleaders. And so what I would encourage them to do is really know who they are and where it is they want to go. If they're looking for organizations, they need to seek out their counselors, mentors, other community-based organizations like your organization, and really try to find people that can support them. And so that's what I would say. Find a way to cultivate the leader within themselves by identifying what their purpose is in life and kind of go from there.
Now, if you had to talk to the parents in terms of cultivating a leader, what would you say to them about cultivating a leader in their own child?
Funny you asked that. Because I host DERF for the last 6 years, when I started the program as part of the District of Columbia Public Charter School program, Student Leadership Advisory Council, the parents were always involved. Even when I was training their kids, they stayed. So we created a session called Parent and Executive Leaders. So it's about making sure parents provide a safe space for their children to grow, providing resources for them so that they can participate in NSBE or whatever community-based organization, a state fair, a local robotics, whatever it is, they have to provide the opportunities for them and expose them. And so that's what I would tell parents to do. Look into the yellow pages or whatever, find organizations that will assist their children in growing. They can't do it all, so that's why we have community-based organizations that are out there to really help them, help their children grow into healthy adults.
Now, you mentioned robotics. Part of our organization, Pursuing a Dream Corporation, emphasizes STEM, science, technology, and math. Your daughter's even a part of a program. So do you feel like there's enough STEM programs in the education system or not enough? And if so, what can we do?
Well, because my daughter's only 7 years old, and so I would say that I would say, since she's been in school, I think there's been a strong focus on STEM. And so we joined Patriots of Technology about 2 years ago. She was the youngest member. She loves math and science. She loved trying to experiment. She loved asking us to ask her math questions. And we were just like, where you get this from? But the interesting thing is there will probably never be enough. I think we can find more programs as long as programs are out there that are really strengthening the children basic understanding of math and science and technology and engineering, because we know that we are in a global economy, and that if we want to remain the U.S., the leader in innovation, we're going to need to make sure that our kids have a solid foundation, and there are programs that exist for that sole purpose, to make sure that our children are able to compete.
Now, the other question, looking at it, is that what advice would you give to that student who's just not unsure? They're just unsure what they want to do.
Unsure what they want to do about?
In terms of college.
In terms of college, I think it's important that we don't necessarily just push being college on kids. I think it's important to push them into a direction where they believe in themselves, that they want to do more with their lives, because not everybody that's in college go on to do different things. So it just really, really depends. I think we just need to make sure that we have educated citizens who are participating in processes that's going to impact their lives. But education for me is essential. I went all the way up to work on my doctorate. I haven't finished it yet. I'm planning to continue to pursue it at some point in life. But I think it's very important that we stress the importance of education, because you need it to be able to do any job. But whether or not you go into college, or to be a small business owner, or to go to the military, those are safe places to go so that they can be more productive adults. So.
Excellent. And you've heard it from our guest, Ms. Chanya Davis Johnson,
that works.
Who's a youth advocate as well as the founder of DERF. You can find out more about her at the end of our program. Ms. Johnson, any other words you want to say?
No, I would say I really do appreciate you guys, the Launchpad, for having me here as one of your first guests. It is certainly an honor. I look forward to partnering with you guys and maybe coming back sharing information. And certainly to just encourage the parents that if they're looking for activities, they can always find out about what we do at the United States Capitol at the Executive Leadership Summit.
Excellent.
Yes.
Thank you, and we'll be back.
Thank you.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Launchpad. Today, we have a very special guest who's going to tell us more about an educational program that maybe you know about, maybe you don't. We're joined today by Ms. Renee Hawkins with the Upward Bound program at Howard University. Renee, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Tell us about the Upward Bound program.
Well, first I want to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to come here and to talk about this wonderful program that we have at Howard University. The Upward Bound Math Science program is a pre-college program that we have at Howard University. The program consists of two components. First, there is the academic component, which we work with the students on Saturdays. We kind of reinforce what they've learned through the week. And then we have the summer program where students actually come on campus, on the campus of Howard University for 5 weeks, and we kind of work with them in their math, science, and their English areas. And we also have a forensic science and engineering program. Now we work with high school students who are first generation low-income students.
Now, when you say first generation, what do you mean? Tell our viewers, what do you mean by first generation?
First generations are students who parents, mother nor father has a college degree, didn't go to college, or do not possess a bachelor's degree.
Okay. And now, how do students get enrolled in your program? Or how do parents enroll students in your program?
Well, primarily what we do, we go out and we recruit. We have target schools in D.C. and target schools in PG County that we go, and we go to back-to-school nights, we go to PTSA nights, we go to parent nights, and we promote our program. We talk about the good things going on at Howard University. We tell them that, you know, it's a program that's geared towards helping their students get into college. That's our goal, that's our purpose, that's everything that we do. We want to make sure at the end of their 4 years in high school that they're well prepared for college.
Right. Now, in terms of, give us an idea, what kind of students do you get? Do they have to be A students? Do they have to be B students? What kind of students do you get? Or C students?
Well, the two programs that we have at Howard University, we have the Upward Bound program and we have the Upward Bound Math Science program. Now, for the Upward Bound Math Science program, that's the one that I'm the academic coordinator for. I'm looking for students to have at least a 2.0 GPA or better and have an interest in math or science. Now, they might not necessarily have to have an interest in math science, but just, you know, curiosity, or saying, I just want to, you know, learn more about the program. So we're just really looking for students who are motivated, who want to go to college, and who understands that you have to be prepared for college, and that's our job to help them.
Now, you mentioned your title as a program coordinator. What exactly does that entail?
My job entails, I'm in control, or I work on every aspect of the program, as far as coordinating the activities, the recruiting process, talking to teachers to get them to come into the program. I talk to other directors or other coordinators of different colleges to set up college tours. I do workshops with the students going over financial aid and scholarships, and I talk to the students. So if the students have an issue at school, sometimes I might even go to the school and work with the student at their school.
Oh,
so that's my role.
Excellent. Now, give us a little bit of background on you. What is your background?
Well, my background is I graduated from Tennessee State University, and I was actually, and I didn't know it, but I was actually a first-generation college student because neither one of my parents had a college degree.
Okay.
And then from Tennessee State, I went to Bowie State University, and I received my master's degree in guidance and counseling.
Oh, excellent, excellent. So how did you know you always wanted to work in education?
I think my inspiration for me wanting to work in education came from my mother. My mother worked for D.C. Public Schools for over 30 years.
Oh,
and
wow.
I can clearly remember her coming home, and she was excited about what happened in school for the day. She was excited about maybe having cheerleader tryouts.
Okay.
And I can remember her taking me with her to school sometimes. And I would say, you know, not only was my mother a great inspiration for me, but just, you know, wanting to give back to the community and wanting to get an education to help the generation coming behind me.
Now, how does the Upward Bound program, in terms of, because I know you talked about getting them ready for college, how do you guys encourage, I mean, how do you inspire them, those students who may not be certain about if they want to go to college or not?
Well, the one thing that we do, we bring alumni back.
Oh, excellent.
To the program.
Okay.
People who have gone through the program, people who have experienced certain things in their life, and they come and they talk to our students, and they encourage our students, and they motivate our students, and they let them know, you know, you're going to have your obstacles, you're going to have your ups and downs, but they tell our students to stay focused, to stay focused on the end goal, and the end goal is to get the college degree, because the college degree can open up doors that normally would not be open for them.
Right, very true. Yeah. And again, these are for students who are first generation, are seeking to go to college.
Correct.
Excellent, 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 excellent. Renee, what else would you want to tell our viewers?
I would just want to let them know that there are so many opportunities out here, and there's so many things they can do with their lives, and that they should never settle. They should never settle in their lives, and they should always remain focused on whatever their goals is. Whatever they want to do in life, they can do it. So my main message will be stay focused and understand that there are programs out there such as the Howard University Upward Bound Math Science program, and that we have people in the program such as my director, his name is Joseph Hill. He's been in the program for over 30 years, and he is still motivated, and he's still there, and he's willing and able to work with our students. So my goal is, if you need help, if you want help, contact us and let us know, and we're there. We're there for you to help us.
Now, to let everybody know, now again, this is Howard University Upward Bound program. It's been in existence for how long?
The program has been in existence since 1965, for over 40 years.
Excellent. And they're doing wonderful things in the community, and that's the type of guests that we like to have on our show. Welcome back to the Launchpad. Today, we're joined by Ms. Nell Patuxent with the Patuxent Research Refuge. And Nell, thanks for joining us on the show.
Well, we appreciate you having me here.
Right. Tell us a little about the Patuxent Research Refuge.
Well, Patuxent Research Refuge is part of the National Wildlife Refuge System. We're part of the Department of Interior. We're kind of like national parks. But refuges are especially for wildlife. We do have some people activities, but we're one of 550 plus refuges all over the country, land set aside for wildlife. And Patuxent is unique in the refuge system in that it is the only refuge that was specifically established to support wildlife research. And co-located with us now is the USGS Patuxent Wildlife Research Center. So this is where they raise whooping cranes for release back to the wild, where they do a lot of work with migratory birds, contaminants, all kinds of wildlife issues and problems. And then we also have the lands where we offer opportunities for people. We have two public entrances. We have the National Wildlife Visitor Center, which is a large museum with exhibits about wildlife problems, and a lot of interactive activities going on, a lot of programs all the time for the public, trails you can hike. And then on our North Tract entrance, which was formerly part of Fort Meade, we have another entrance and a lot of trails there too. People can go hunting and fishing and hiking and bird watching and a lot of public activities. So we try to provide things for the community here and a lot of activities for kids and folks all ages.
Now, how long has the Patuxent Research Refuge been in existence?
We've been there since 1936. We were originally close to the Beltsville Agricultural Research Center. I mean, we still are, but they were looking for a place sort of in the country at that time to do research on wildlife and some of the wildlife-people interactions and whatnot. So 1936, President Roosevelt signed an executive order establishing Patuxent Research Refuge.
And now, how long have you been there?
I've been there since the late 80s.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it's been a nice place. I've been several other refuges, Chincoteague, Okefenokee down in Georgia, Blackwater on the Eastern Shore. But I've been here quite a long time.
Excellent. And what's your background? I mean, what's your position? Well, let's look at what's your position there?
I deal with the public. My background is biology and wildlife management. But I enjoy interacting with the public. We have a lot of education programs. One of our chief missions is getting kids interested in the out of doors. You know, I think so much time these days is spent in front of a TV or a computer screen or whatever. And I think studies have shown that it affects you know, it's healthier to get some outside and creative activity, explore nature, and I know when I was growing up, I got a lot of satisfaction from the out of doors, and I think for people of all ages, it's kind of therapeutic. You know, you get away from the rat race, you can relax, enjoy nature. So we try to provide those opportunities.
Now, I visit the Patuxent Research Refuge on many occasions, and there's a lot of activities. Tell our viewers, what kind of activities can they find for kids?
Oh, gee, we have all kinds of activities. Families come on their own, and we do have, like I say, trails, exhibits, and whatnot. But we also have a lot of programs. Every month, we have probably at least a dozen programs, either at the Visitor Center or the North Tract entrance. And people can, most are by reservation, small groups, and everything from nature tots, the little tiny kids, on up through adults. Everything from owl prowls and bird walks and night hikes and kids' craft activities, exploring different aspects of nature. And then we have big events, too, throughout the year. We just had a big art show that our Friends group put on. We have a wildlife festival in the fall. We participate with Maryland beekeepers in the Honey Harvest Festival. And we have a big kids' fishing day coming up in June, too. So.
And tell our viewers, where exactly are you located?
We are right between Bowie and Laurel. We're right off of Route 197 down Powder Mill Road between the Parkway and 197. That's the entrance to the Visitor Center. And then the North Tract entrance is off of Route 198 just east of Laurel, between Laurel and Fort Meade, between the Parkway and 32. So very convenient for folks, you know, in Prince George's County here.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, also the Research Refuge also has positions, summer positions. Am I right?
We do have some summer jobs for youth. We have a youth conservation corps, and I think the deadline is April 9th for applying for that program. And occasionally there are some other jobs. Again, there are two agencies involved, the U.S. Geological Survey as well as the Fish and Wildlife Service. So we, you know, and we have internships. We have volunteer opportunities. So there are lots of opportunities for young people to get experience. And, you know, it's a good way to get your foot in the door as well. So we try to encourage young people to explore, and internships and volunteer opportunities are a great way to get to know if that's what you want to do when you grow up, so to speak.
Excellent, excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, we're joined again by Ms. Nell Patuxent. Thank you, Nell, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Definitely. Please, if you get a chance, excellent opportunity to visit the Patuxent Research Refuge. Wonderful place, wonderful place. So things for kids as well as adults. Thanks again, and we'll be back. Welcome back. We're joined today by another special guest, Ms. Katrina Johnson with the Maryland Higher Education Commission. She's going to tell us a lot, well, give us a lot of resources about college. So you students, listen up. Thank you, Ms. Johnson, and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Now tell us, what does the Maryland Higher Education Commission do? And what kind of service do they offer students?
I would say the Maryland Higher Education Commission is like the background or the backbone of Maryland residents in reference to providing college information, resources, and scholarships and things like that for adult learners as well as new students that's pursuing college education.
Right. And this is for the entire state of Maryland?
Yes, entire state of Maryland, yes.
But what other services does MHEC have?
Different services. In my department, we work on institutional grants, which different universities may apply for grants. Let's say the College Access Grant for underrepresented students. They have to implement a plan to improve college access and success. So we do that. We have different grants and scholarship programs for different students, foster students and new incoming students, you know, from college, want single family homes and everything. So it's a big support for everyone.
And how long, well, I guess we'll ask this question. What's your position? My
position is I am an administrative support to the Outreach and Grants Management Department. And I do a little bit of everything. I assist with the grants, I do invoices, and I also work one-on-one with students in reference to giving them the resources and how to fill out the FAFSA, when they should fill out the FAFSA, what are the requirements for different grant and scholarship programs as well.
But MHAC also does outreach into the community as well.
Yes, we do. We go out to different institutions, nonprofit organizations, churches to work financial aid workshops. And a lot of the schools, they may ask to do a financial aid presentation. So we go out and present the different information, the resources, the publications that we do offer for the state and for those schools.
Now, if a student or parent is interested, how can they get a hold of publications? Where would they go?
They can contact me. You can go to www.mhac.state.md.us to our website, and you can pull up my name. I am the main contact person for the publications. I actually worked on the publications. I created these. These are the new ones for 2012-2013 academic year. I'm in the process of working on the new 2012-2013. So in August, we may have a different picture, maybe some updated programs. So they could go on the website, look it up. We have different websites that they can go on to request them for themselves.
Now, cash for college is, I'm sure, big. I mean, you know, every student wants to go to school. How many requests do you get?
Oh man, a lot. It just depends. Number-wise, I really, you know, don't know the number-wise, but it's a lot of students, especially those students that's just coming out of high school and really don't know how to access the financial aid information. So we get a lot of those students as well, and parents that don't know about the resources or don't know how to fill out the FAFSA. So that's what my office do, is provide that information, kind of go through step by step. That's what I do anyway, step by step over the phone, how to do it, and I give them my contact information just in case they need that additional help, and I'll do that, assist them.
Now, what inspired you to want to help students or working with MHAC?
It's my passion to help others. I was an underrepresented student as well. So I was granted a scholarship when I went to school for 2 years and transferred to the University of Baltimore and was awarded a full scholarship to earn my bachelor's degree. So I know the system, I know the struggle sometimes in trying to find money for college. But I will say, and I like to encourage those students, that it's worth it because, you know, this is something that you're doing for yourself. So I like to inspire others and just assist them in becoming what they want to, you know, becoming what they want to do career-wise, and just know that they can achieve their goals.
Excellent, excellent. What else would you want to leave our viewers with about MHAC?
Just that it's a support system. You know, we're there to assist the students in accomplishing their goals. Whatever it is that they want to pursue in college, we're there to assist them in any way that we can. And we just encourage them to just go get your degree, you know, go for the career that you desire, and we'll try to support you 100%.
Now, the resources that you're connecting with is not just for in-state, it's also for out-of-state as well, am I right?
We do encourage more so Maryland, in-state, because I have the access to the state of Maryland information, but we do provide some information for out of state if I may look it up for a student or a parent, but a lot of our grants and scholarships is supported for Maryland residents.
So just to be clear, if I'm a senior in high school and I'm looking for resources, I go to your website, I start the process. What can I find? Would I have to automatically call and get greeted by, you know, an automated system and get frustrated, or what can I do?
No, when you go online, you'll basically see it's a link that calls Student Outreach Tools. So it specifically spells out this is for students. This is a website that I've actually updated, and I update often. So students, it can be, you know, attractive to students so they can see. And it's clips that are on the website. For instance, you can afford college.
Excellent.
That's a DVD that goes through the process of how to apply for financial aid, what does financial aid do for students. In addition, this is called Money for College DVD.
Okay.
That's a DVD, let's say that we can't go attend a presentation.
Okay.
We'll send that to the schools and say, that is a live recorded financial aid presentation, step by step, for students and parents to use as a resource.
And these resources are free, am I clear?
Yes, they're free. You can go online and request those as well.
Okay.
That's easy to navigate on the website as well. But if they have any issues, they can contact me, and I'll be more than happy to provide those resources for them.
Thank you. We want to thank our guest, Ms. Katrina Johnson with the Maryland Higher Education Commission. We also want to thank you guys for joining us. Make sure you tune in for our next segment. Ms. Johnson, thanks again.
Thank you.
You out there. Thanks again out there. And to learn more about our guests, see the credits at the end of the show. And we'll see you next time.